After running the Generation 1 starters, I thought it would be fitting to complete the sets with the Pikachu line. To fit in with our challenges, we're going to be starting with Pichu and evolving all the way up to Raichu. Pikachu, of course, is Pokemon's mascot, so I can think of no better way to finish our Generation 1 starters mini-series. And before we get into the challenge, I want to say thank you to everyone who watched the last challenge run. It was definitely an interesting run with the Pokerus, and if you haven't seen it, there will be a link down in the description. Now, if you do enjoy this run, please do consider leaving it a like. If you want to see more challenges just like this so we can complete the series, click the subscribe button, and if you want to join the HM Friends, the link is in the description. Now, this is our first friendship evolution we have run here on the channel, and goodness me, this is going to be an experience. So we're starting with Pichu, and our base stats are going to be incredibly low because we're a baby Pokemon. So let's now bite the bullet and take a look at our stats. We're level 5 with 17 HP, we're holding a berry and our moves are Thunder Shock and Charm. We've got 10 in attack, 7 in defense, 10 in special attack, 10 in special defense, and 12 in speed. This is a Pokemon we are running with, whether we like it or not, so let's get the graphics up and the challenge underway. We get the potion from Professor Elm's aid, and as always I will show you the very first encounter we have with a wild Pokemon. We had to wait all the way until Mr. Pokemon's house to find our first wild encounter this time, and it was a level 4 Hoot Hoot that almost destroyed us in one shot, but we did knock it out, and then we'll do a little bit more training as well. We learn moves very quickly as a baby Pokemon, so at level 8 we learn Thunder Wave. With our base stats being so low, Thunder Wave is going to be an incredible boon early on in the game. Pichu's stats are horrific, I'm not going to sugarcoat this, and we are going to need to use every strategy we have in order to get through some of these battles. And the first big battle we go up against is the Rival. I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Totodile with Pichu, and that is to give the Rival Chikorita. Chikorita of course resists electric type moves, so it made the most sense out of the three. This challenge would be no fun if he had a Totodile there, and we eventually got through surviving on just 7 HP. So we'll make our way back to Professor Elm's lab, we'll tell the police officer that the Rival's name is triple question mark because that's what he called himself. We'll get our Pokeballs and we'll make our way over to Violet City. In Violet City we actually have a little bit of fortune on our side, because our first gym leader is of course Falconer. He's an electric type leader who will lead with Pidgey. And this, I think, is going to be one of very few times where we have good fortune on our side. Even with the type advantage on our side though, it's not a one-shot on the Pidgey, which means it's definitely not a one-shot on the Pidgeotto. So we'll paralyse it and then take it down in 2 turns to get our first badge in a time of 6 minutes and 35 seconds. For a baby Pokemon, that's an incredibly quick time up through the first badge, but remember we have not done Sprout Tower yet. And with the Zephyr badge safely tucked away in our bag, we can make our way towards the Ilex Forest and catching our HM friends. Now unfortunately, the HM friend teams have gotten so big that I cannot possibly read out every single name. So for the HM friends, I'm going to read out a selection of names each run. And on Team Psyduck we have Snowy, William, iPrisms and many more. And Psyduck is going to be helping us out with Surf, Strength, Waterfall and Whirlpool. And on Team Paris we have Gemma, Andrew, Peach, Seaduke and Mood. And Paris of course is going to be helping us out with Dig, Flash, Sweet Sense and Cut. And with the HM friends safely caught for another run, we'll make our way back into Azalea Town where we have Bugsy waiting for us. Just before we take on Bugsy though, we are going to replace Tail Whip with Swift. It's nice to have a strong normal type move on the learn set, and Swift can never miss, and that's a little additional bonus. Bugsy is our second gym leader together. He's a bug type specialist who leads with Metapod. We start Thunder Shocking the Metapod and knock it out in 3 shots, and out comes Kakuna. Kakuna isn't especially defensive, so it's just 2 shots, and then we paralyse the Scyther. It's imperative to paralyse this Scyther so that Fury Cutter doesn't destroy us, but Quick Attack's doing a good job all on its own. I tried charming it a few times, but I probably over-charmed. We go down to 3 HP and we get knocked out. I think we've got the right strategy, just in a slightly wrong order. So we're going to start Thunder Shocking the Metapod once more, and we're on to the Kakuna. I use Thunder Shock against the Kakuna, and this time it's still a 2-shot, and we're back onto that pesky Scyther. Let's Thunder Wave it, and then let's get to charming it. Quick Attack takes us down to 12, but then the charm really starts to kick in. We use a Thundershock to take off about a third health, Quick Attack's doing next to nothing at all on us now, and 3 shots later it goes down. We grow to level 19 and we have the Hive Badge in a time of 17 minutes and 4 seconds. We can't celebrate for too long though because we have our next rival battle just around the corner. And while we're still stuck with a Pichu, the rival has evolved his Chikorita into a Bayleaf. We've got a Ghastly to get through first, and Ghastly's Hypnosis misses, so it's just 2 shots and we are onto that pesky Bayleaf. It tries to poison us, but it misses, and then it gets to Razor Leafing us. We've paralysed it, but even with the Razor Leaf, it's just 3 shots from the Bayleaf. We'll give it a go once more, see if we get any better RNG luck. So we're back onto the Bayleaf again, we Thunder Wave it as we did before, and we get to Swifting. This time he rubs salt into the wound by poisoning us, and we have absolutely no chance of getting through at level 19. So we're going to have to do a little bit of grinding. Now we are level 19, and that means we are very close to what I believe is called a Cabbage Grounding Fresh Roll, and that's at levels 0, 3, 5 and 8. So if your level ends in one of those numbers, your damage gets rounded up a little bit. So we're now back onto the Bayleaf, we've paralysed it, and let's get to Swifting. Razor Leaf does a lot of damage, but we are now holding a berry as well that I went all the way back to the Berry Master's house to get, and we're through the Bayleaf on 20 HP. His final Pokemon is a Zubat, and Zubat is of course weak to electric type moves, so it's just a couple of hits to knock it out, and we're through the rival battle in a time of just shy of half an hour. So we'll now make our way through the Ilex Forest, picking up cuts from the Cutting Master. We'll also get headbutts from the green-haired man staring at the tree, and when we eventually need Headbutt, it will be a nice 10 base power increase over Swift, and because we're a speedy Pokemon, we will have the chance to flinch. Now for one of the very last times, we're going to go into the Goldenrod Underground and pick up the coin case. The reason we're getting the coin case in this run is because we also need to give Pichu a haircut. Haircut's the only way to make Pichu friendlier towards us in a very quick time, apart from spending all our money on vitamins. Now that we've got the coin case, we'll pick up the Abra, and on Team Abra, among many other people, we have Austin, Mariah, Pariah, and Baby T. Abra's going to be helping us out with Teleport, and our final HM friend, of course, is Kenya. On Team Kenya, among many other people, we have Francesco, we have Floor Inspect, we have Dr. Chops, Benjo, and Nichols. Kenya's going to be helping us out with Fly, and that will prove to be invaluable later on. We'll now have a little chinwag with Floria and make our way back towards Goldenrod City, where Whitney is waiting for us. She is our 3rd gym leader together, a normal type specialist who leads with Clefairy. We Thundershock on the Clefairy as it kicks us twice with Double Kick. It then slaps us 5 times with Double Slap, and I say that's enough of that, thank you very much, and we'll try once more. Our Clefairy luck doesn't improve on this attempt either, because we Thunder Wave it and then it screams bloody murder at us. That gets the Pichu out of battle, so we have to take a reset. On our next attempt, this Clefairy has obviously seen Bill's father outside of Goldenrod City's game corner because it ice beams us. We start charming it to try and reduce its physical attack, and we get onto the Miltank at 20 HP. Miltank takes one look at us, says get lost, so we're gonna have to grind. I decided to give our Pichu some inspiration to evolve if it ever stops being miserable as sin by going up against this Raichu. We level up to level 27 against the Raichu in just 3 shots, and we'll have to see if this is now enough to get through Whitney. We're still not evolved at level 27, but we'll give it another fair try. Once again, this is Whitney, the normal type specialist who leads with Clefairy. We paralyse the Clefairy as it starts to double slap us, and we have no hope of getting through at that amount of HP. We Thunderwave the Clefairy, and then I missed that it used Mist, so I tried using Charm, and it mimics our Thunder Shot. We use Swift as it converts into the electric type, and we are on full health for the Miltank. We Thunderwave the Miltank to try and stop any rollout, but instead it just goes for Stomp. Stomp is doing an awful lot of damage, but we do outspeed it now, so we're going to get to Charming it and then hope for the best. Thundershock and Swift do roughly equivalent damage. She uses Attract and then Milk Drink as we are stuck not being able to hit it. We hit through Attract once and twice in a row. Stomp takes us down to 5, but we critical hit. We're through the cow and we're up to level 28. Goodness me, we had an awful lot of luck there against Whitney, so let's get out of here as quickly as we possibly can. We don't want Whitney complaining that we lucked our way through that battle, so we'll go into next door, have a little chat with the eavesdropping sisters, we'll get the Squirts bottle and make our way out of Goldenrod City as quickly as we possibly can. So we'll annoy the annoying tree, make a brief pit stop in Ecruteak City and make our way towards the Lake of Rage. At the Lake of Rage we have a rare candy to pick up, and we also have Hidden Power. Our Hidden Power type this time is Water. Hidden Power Water is going to prove invaluable to us later on in this run, because even though we have hands, we are not very diverse with our learn set. We'll go south of Ecruteak now and pick up the magnets from Sunny of Sunday, and we'll now enter the Burnt Tower where our rival is waiting for us for the third time, and just before we engage him into battle we're going to replace Swift with Hidden Power Water. At this point in the run we have run out of level up moves, so the only way to get higher attacking power is to go for the TMs. And we'll now engage our rival in battle. He leads with a pesky swearing Haunter this time, and we get to Thunder Shocking it. We're nowhere near strong enough to knock out that Haunter though, so it does put a curse on us, and we are on to the Magnemite. Magnemite's a 2-shot with Hidden Power Water, but we only have 26 HP for the Bayleaf. That's not enough, so I concede defeat and start the grind once more. I reckon our best option is to progress as far as we can without having to take on the rival. So we're going to take out Psychic Norman and grow to level 30, and we're going to make our way into Olivine City, picking up the Minceberry at the Moo Moo Farm en route. In Olivine City, the first thing we're going to do is get the good rod from good old Rodney here. We put the good rod in our pocket and move on into the cafe. The man at the cafe insults our Pichu, and for once we agree with him, but he gives us strength, so we can't be too annoyed with him. We'll climb the lighthouse and beat up all the trainers en route, and at the tippy top of the lighthouse we meet Jasmine. She wants us to get some medicine for her, but unfortunately for her we don't have access to Surf yet, so we'll make our way back into Ecruteak City and engage the Kimono Girls in battle. And in this instance I will show you the Jolteon battle. Jolteon resists our electric moves, but it's just a couple of Swifts to knock it out, and our reward is HMO3, which is Surf. We can now teach Surf to Psyduck, but to use Surf outside of battle we need Morty's badge, and in order to get Morty's badge we need to get through this rival. So now to prepare for the rival battle we are going to reteach Hidden Power Water over Charm. We forgot that when we took the reset of the rival earlier, and we will also teach Headbutt over Swift. Headbutt has 10 more base power than Swift and has the chance to flinch, and hopefully this combined with the 5 extra levels will be enough to see us fit. So once again this is rival number 3, he leads with Haunter, and Haunter swears at us once more. We're back onto the Magnemite and we still don't one-shot it with Hidden Power Water, and that means the curse really is starting to take effect as the Bayleaf comes out. We drop down to 16 HP and get knocked out by Curse. The only way we're going to get through this battle at this level is if Haunter doesn't curse, just like this time. He uses Spites twice in a row, and that means we're not on a clock. We use Hidden Power against the Magnemite as Supersonic misses, so we're on full health for the Bayleaf. We headbutt it as it uses Poison Powder against us, but we get a critical hit on turn 2 to knock it out, and that just leaves the Zubat. Zubat is a one-shot at this level, we grow to level 35, and we have defeated the rival in a time of 57 minutes. So now let's release the beasts and dig out of here and make our way into Morty's gym. Morty is a ghost and poison type specialist, and if I'm being perfectly honest with you, I don't think this battle is going to be winnable as a Pichu. We'll give it a try just in case, because stranger things have happened, and he leads with Ghastly. We don't one-shot the Ghastly, and that means he sets up a curse on us, and our HP is a multiple of 4, which means we only have 4 turns even without taking damage. We get through the Haunter and we're onto the Gengar. We're only on 17 HP as the Gengar comes out. It takes one look at us and says that's enough of that, thank you very much. So it's time to do a little bit more grinding. We'll get Lastana's number from Route 37 and we'll make our way all the way back to New Bark Town. We need this Pichu to evolve as quickly as possible. We're getting dangerously close to level 40, and at level 41 Pikachu learns Thunder, and that is imperative to our entire strategy for this run. There's a little known mechanic in Pokémon Crystal where if you train up a Pokémon in its Met's location, its friendship will increase at double the rate of normal. So we're taking advantage of that mechanic here by fishing in New Bark Town, and we have the type advantage over all of these water types, and at level 40 we finally say goodbye to Pichu and hello to Pikachu, and just in time too, one more level up and we would have missed our opportunity to learn Thunder, and this entire run would have had to go a completely different way. I wasn't too sure about whether we'd be able to evolve before Thunder, which is why I didn't use vitamins, but now once again it is time for Morty. We one-shot the Ghastly, we're onto the Haunter, we use Hidden Power and one-shot that, and out comes the Gengar. Gengar uses Mean Luck on turn 1 and then fails the Hypnosis on turn 2, so it's just 3 shots to knock it out, and the second Haunter uses Mean Luck once more. We knock it out in 2 shots and we have the Fog Badge in a time of 1 hour, 13 minutes and 25 seconds. We've got an awful lot of time to make up, but we've done all the stuff we normally do in between Morty and Chuck, so let's make our way straight over to Cyanwood City. In Cyanwood City, we're going to pick up the secret potion from the man in the dodgy shop, and then we'll go straight into the gym. Against the gym trainers, we got rid of Thundershock and learned Thunder, and we're going to try that out against Chuck. He's a fighting type specialist who leads with Primeape. We miss our Thunder on turn 1 as Leah hits, we miss our Thunder on turn 2 and we have to take a reset. We're going to use Headbutt this time and we get a critical hit, and we're going to risk it for a biscuit. 1 Thunder, 1 KO, and we knock out the Poliwrath on our second attempt, and we get the Storm Badge in a time of 1 hour, 15 minutes and 59 seconds. Let's now have a little chinwag with Chuck's wife to pick up the Fly HM, and we're going to utilise that straight away. We're going to Azalea Town and into the Slowpoke Well, where we're going to pick up the King's Rock, whether we need it or not, because it's right in front of our noses, and we'll also pick up the Rain Dance TM. We'll then make our way out of the Slowpoke Well and over to Cherry Grove City. In Cherry Grove City, there's a man all on his lonesome on an island here, and he has the Mystic Water to give us. Mystic Water will increase our water-type moves by 10%. Now let's make our way to the Lake of Rage and engage the Red Gyarados in battle. Thunder hits and it's a one-hit wonder, so we knock it out and get the red scale, and now it's time to chat with Lance, the liar with the flyers. Nothing of significance, of course, happens in the Mahogany Underground, so we'll skip through to the end and enter into Price's gym. Price is an Ice-type specialist who leads with a pair of Water types, so we are going to say goodbye to Thunder Wave and hello to Rain Dance. A combination of Rain Dance and Thunder means that Thunder will never miss because it bypasses accuracy checks, and Rain Dance will also boost our Hidden Power Water. We set up the Rain against the Seal and Seal goes down in 1 shot. He sends out the Piloswine, so our Rain Dance boosted Hidden Power Water takes care of that straight away. And then we get the Rain going once more for the Dugong. We knock the Dugong out with an unnecessary critical hit, and we get the Glacier Badge in a time of 1 hour, 22 minutes and 56 seconds. Up next is Jasmine, so we're going to get our legs in gear once more and climb the lighthouse. We'll give the secret potion to Jasmine so that Amphi can feel a little bit better. We'll dig out of there, making a nasty mess en route, and enter into her gym. She is our 7th gym leader together. She's a Steel-type specialist who will lead with a pair of Magnemite. Magnemite number 1 comes out and we use Hidden Power Water, and it's not quite a one-shot. So we use another Hidden Power Water to knock it out, and here comes Magnemite number 2. We get paralysed from Thunder Wave because in this generation electric types can get hit by Thunder Wave, and we're now onto the Steelix. We're confused and fully paralysed, but Hidden Power Water hits through, it's super effective against the Steelix, and we have the Mineral Badge in a time of 1 hour, 24 minutes and 7 seconds. That's 7 badges done. Let's make our way to Goldenrod City and into the department store. We're going to get TM27, which is return, and we're also going to pick up another Headbutt or 2. While we're here, we will also sell a couple of nuggets, and that will mean we will have the bag space to pick up the Thunderstone. We're going to be finally evolving our Pikachu, and the reason I chose to evolve later on is because Pikachu could handle Price, Chuck and Jasmine on his own, and I wanted to give him a little bit of spotlight being the mascot of the series. So we'll now use the mom trick to force Lastana into calling us, and she will give us our Thunderstone. So it's another trip back to Route 38 where we get the Thunderstone off Dana, and as is tradition we'll hide behind a tree to delete her phone number. We don't want her pestering us anymore, and while we're here we will evolve our Pikachu into a Raichu. And of course, being a Thunderstone evolution, it means we are losing the ability to learn Light Screen, but I don't think that's too much of an issue. We'll make our way back to Goldenrod City now and into the underground, where the rival is waiting for us. This is our 4th rival battle together. This time he leads with Golbat. Now against the Golbat I was going to use Thunder, but I thought that was highly inaccurate and I wanted to try a Headbutt to see if we could get the flinch off. It didn't quite work out and we did get confused, so we're going to set up the Rain against the Magnemite and then try and hit through the confusion. We do, so we're not getting paralysed from the Magnemite, we get confused no more and we're through the Haunter. Sneasel comes out and Rain Dance is still active, so it's a one-shot with Thunder with a guaranteed hit, and his final Pokemon is Meganium. We do over half health with our first Thunder. I try headbutting it and that was a bit of a misplay. We should have just gone for Thunder once more, so we did get paralysed, but we get through, surviving on 59 HP. And with nothing else of great significance happening in the radio tower, we'll head straight to Marie and pick up the pink bow. We'll get the radio card from the receptionist on the bottom floor of the radio tower. We'll fly to Mahogany Town and take a trip east towards the ice path. We don't need the Nevermelt ice this time, so there's only one item we're picking up in here, and that is HM07, which contains Waterfall. We'll make our way out of the ice path and into Blackthorn City, where Claire is waiting for us. Claire is our 8th gym leader together, and in preparation we're going to say goodbye to Headbutt and hello to Return. She is a Dragon-type specialist who leads with 3 pesky Dragonair. Return is a one-shot on the first Dragonair, which is a very good sign. It's a one-shot with a critical hit on Dragonair number 2, and it's a one-shot on Dragonair number 3. No Thunder Wave for us this time, and now we set up the Rain. Kingdra Hyper Beams, which means she is stuck, not able to do anything. We one-shot it and we get the Rising Badge in a time of 1 hour, 40 minutes and 50 seconds. That's all 8 Jotonian gym badges acquired. We'll now start heading towards the Pokemon League in Kanto, picking up the rare candy en route, and into Victory Road we go. We can't learn Earthquake this time, which is a bit of a shame, so we're going to go straight into our final rival battle. He leads with Sneasel this time, so we're going to set up the Rain Dance straight away, and we one-shot the Sneasel with Thunder. Out comes the Magneton, and we use a boosted Hidden Power Water to take care of that in one hit. Here comes Haunter. We take no chances and one-shot it with Thunder, and his next Pokemon is Kadabra. We made light work of the Kadabra, taking that out in a single hit as well, and his penultimate Pokemon is Meganium. We both miss on turn 1, so I set up the Rain Dance on turn 2. A critical hit Thunder knocks it out in one shot, and his last Pokemon is Golbat. Golbat is weak to Thunder, so it goes down as quickly as it came out, and we say thank you to the rival for an interesting set of battles in this challenge run. Now it's time to heal up whether we need it or not at the Pokemon League, and say thank you to the HM friends. We say thank you to Kenya, to Abra, to Psyduck and to Paris, and of course thank you to all of you who have joined the HM friends as well. We'll grab our 4 full restores, we'll either need them or we won't, and let's take a look at our stats in big as we go into the league. We have 158 HP at level 55, we're holding a magnet and our moves are Return, Hidden Power Water, Rain Dance and Thunder. We have 141 in attack, 101 in defense, 140 in special attack, 129 in special defense and 154 in speed. Our first Elite Four member is William St. Germain, the Psychic type specialist who leads with Xatu. We use Return against the Xatu and it's a one-shot and he sends out Jinx. We set up a Rain Dance against the Jinx as Psychic hits us for a little bit of damage. Thunder is a one-hit wonder and he sends out Executor. Executor resists both our special attacks, but 2 Thunders is all it takes to knock it out. Thunder is super effective against the Xatu and his final Pokemon is Slowbro. The rain stopped, but we risked it anyway. We hit the Thunder, we knock it out, and we are through Will in a time of 1 hour, 46 minutes and 2 seconds. Second in the gauntlet is Koga. He is a Poison type specialist who leads with Ariados. Ariados gets knocked out in a single return and he sends out the Fortress. We start Rain Dancing as he spikes all over the place, and then Thunder is more than capable of knocking it out in one hit. The same thing happens on the Venomoth and his next Pokemon is Muck. Muck gets taken down deep into the red as it uses Minimalize. We bypass the accuracy checks with Thunder though, and the rain stops for Crobat. We get the rain up again as he double teams and Thunder hits through the double team to take care of Koga in a time of 1 hour, 46 minutes and 57 seconds. Bruno is our third member of the Elite Four. He's a fighting type specialist who leads with Hitmontop. We set up Rain Dance as Hitmontop listens to the sound of the underground with Dig, and then we get to Thundering it. He uses Detect, and that is one of the few things that a Rain Dance boosted Thunder can't hit through, and then he sends out Onix. Onix is a one-shot with Hidden Power Water because it's 4 times weak to that, and up next is Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee has very little physical defense, so a single return was more than enough to take care of that. Hitmonchan puts up a bit of resistance with Mark Punch, but 2 returns is enough to take it out, and we are on to the Machamp. We do over half health on our first turn and survive on 2 to knock it out, and we've defeated Bruno in a time of 1 hour, 47 minutes and 43 seconds. And now it is time for my nemesis, Karen. Karen is a run killer, however Sand Attack will not affect our Rain Dance boosted Thunder, so it's 2 shots on the Umbreon and she sends out the Vileplume. We use Thunder even though it's resisted and we paralyze it, but it paralyzes us back. It's locked into Petal Dance as we knock it out, and up next is Gengar. Gengar outspeeds us on turn 1 and uses Lick, but then it curses and we had no way of getting through the battle. Let's go back to square one with Umbreon. We set up Rain Dance and Sand Attack fails, and that means we are at full accuracy for the rest of this battle. We're onto the Vileplume and I use Return this time to take it deep into the yellow. Stun Spore misses, so we have a lot better luck. Gengar comes out and it doesn't have a potty mouth this time, so we're not on a clock for the rest of the battle as we're against the Houndoom. Hidden Power Water isn't strong enough to knock it out in one shot, so she uses a Max Potion, but 2 Hidden Powers later and it goes down. Her final Pokemon is Murkrow, and we are going to set up the Rain Dance to take no chances whatsoever. A Rain Dance boosted Thunder knocks it out and we've defeated Karen in a time of 1 hour 49 minutes and 27 seconds. And there's only one thing standing between us and the Hall of Fame. It's Lance the Liar with the Flyers, who leads with Gyarados. Even though Gyarados often leads with Rain Dance, we outspeed it, so we had to set up one of our own, and then we one-shot the Gyarados with Thunder. And now here is where I got surprised. It wasn't a one-shot on the Dragonite. Even though it's a base 120 power move, we still couldn't OHKO these Dragonites, and we got paralysed. This Dragonite then Hyper Beams us, we miss, and we get a critical hit. So we're going to swap to the Paralysed Cure Berry and not have the Magnet boosted Thunder instead. Gyarados is 4 times weak to Electric, so it still gets knocked out in a single Thunder, and we're on to the Dragonite. Paralysed Cure Berry kicks in against Dragonite number 1, and now we just have to hope for the Paralysed miss. Thunder Wave misses, so we're not getting paralysed in this battle, and he sends out his 3rd Dragonite. Outrage takes us down to 117, but we grow up to level 59 as he sends out Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl follows the Dragonite's lead from the first battle by hitting us with Hyper Beam, but we've got 69 HP to get through the Charizard. We outspeed it and we've defeated Lance in a time of 1 hour 52 minutes and 47 seconds. And we have a league time of 1 hour 53 minutes and 4 seconds. We're running quite slow, but remember we did start with a Pichu. Don't you dare go anywhere though, Kanto is next. And we're back where it all began outside our home in Newbark Town, where Professor Elm phones us because he's got a little gift for us. He gives us the SS ticket, which will allow us to get to Kanto proper. Before we get there though, we've got a couple of little bits to clean up here in Johto. We're going to welcome back the HM friends, Kenya, Abra, Psyduck and Paris. They had a lovely little rest in the Costa del PC box, and now let's make our way up to Violet City. In Violet City we have to pick up the rare candy from outside the Sprout Tower, and then we'll climb the tower to earn the Flash HM from Elder Lee. Flash will allow us to see through the Whirl Islands, and we're going there in just a second. Before we get there though, we've got to pick up a rare candy in Mount Mortar. This one's only accessible with Waterfall, which is why we pick it up now. And then it's just a little surf down to the Whirl Islands to pick up our next rare candy. I've heard, you know, that naughty Jotonian children are sent there as punishment, so let's get out of there as quickly as possible and into Vermilion City. And the first thing we do in Kanto is the last thing we do in Johto. We're going to get another rare candy, this time from the chairman of the Pokemon Fan Club. We can't learn Psychic because we're not a Lowland Raichu, so we'll just have a quick jaunt through Saffron City, not stopping to see the sights, and we'll make our way into Celadon City. We'll get the leftovers from the bin in the cafe because our Raichu is not proud at all, and then we'll make our way into Erica's gym. Erica is our 9th gym leader, together our first Cantonian gym leader, and she leads with Tangela. We're going to use Return against the Tangela as it starts to drink us, and it's 2 shots to knock it out. Jumpluff's next, and Jumpluff is a 1-shot with Return. Her next Pokemon is Victory Bell. It's a 1-shot on the Victory Bell once more as we grow up to level 61, and her final Pokemon is Bellossom. We knock the Bellossom into healing range, which gets her stuck in a loop, so it's just 3 returns to knock it out, and we have the Rainbow Badge in a time of 1 hour 59 minutes and 18 seconds. Misty is a Water-type trainer, and she's our 2nd Cantonian gym leader, and this can only be a foregone conclusion. We use Return against the Golduck to knock it out in 2, and we do exactly the same against the Quagsire. Out comes the Starmie, and this is where we can set up our Rain Dance as it confuses us. We hit through the confusion to 1-shot the Starmie, and now we have at least 3 turns to get through the Lapras. We hit on our first turn, so there's no Perish Song for us, and we get the Cascade Badge in a time of 2 hours 3 minutes and 34 seconds. Up next is Sabrina. Sabrina is a Psychic-type specialist who leads with Peskeon. We get hit by Sand Attack, but our Rain Dance boosted Thunder just doesn't care about that, so it's a 1-shot on the Espeon, a 1-shot on the Mr. Mime, and a one-shot on the Alakazam. That was an incredibly easy Sabrina battle, time of 2 hours, 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Up next is Lieutenant Surge, and it's electric type versus electric type as two Raichus are on the field. We get paralysed by his Raichu as we set up the rain, but our Rain Dance boosted hidden power makes light work of the Raichu. Paralysis is going to be a little bit frustrating for the rest of the battle, but we knock out the Electrode in one shot. Zap Cannon misses and our hidden power water knocks out the Magneton in one. We're getting excellent paralysis luck and Electrode helps us out by going boom, and that just leaves Electabuzz. Electabuzz raises its special defense, but it's not enough, and we get the Thunder Badge in a time of 2 hours, 6 minutes and 25 seconds. Up next is Brock, and Brock would be incredibly difficult if we didn't have Hidden Power Water. We can take advantage of his AI by just using Hidden Power against the 3 ground types, and then we can set up a Rain Dance after Onix. Because both the Omastar and the Kabuto are weak to electric type moves, so we hit our guaranteed Thunder with an unnecessary critical hit against the Omastar, and we do exactly the same against the Kabutops. 2 hits, 2 KOs, and we've got the badge in a time of 2 hours, 7 minutes and 45 seconds. And now it's time to take a little trip down through Viridian Hedge Maze and get ourselves prepared for our final 3 gym leaders. The first one we encounter is Blue, and in order to be able to battle him, we have to have a little chat with him here, and he'll tell us all about this nasty volcano here at Cinnabar Island. We'll grab the rare candy here and then surf east to the next island in this archipelago, and that is of course the Seafoam Islands, where Blaine is waiting for us. Blaine is a fire-type leader who will lead with Magcargo. Now poor Magcargo is 4 times weak to water, so we can set up a Rain Dance against that and knock it out in one shot. Here comes the Magmar, and Rain Dance boosted hidden power makes light work of it, as it does against the Rapidash. 3 one-shots for Blaine, and we get the badge in a time of 2 hours, 9 minutes and 12 seconds. Our next gym leader is everyone's favourite pushover, it's Janine. And what can I say about Janine? Even on a run that's been as tricky as this, she is easy. It's just a mash A simulator at this point. We're going to use Return against all of her Pokemon, and we're going to knock each and every one of them out in one single hit. I really wish the boat docked here in Fuchsia City and Janine was mandatory as your first gym leader. However, we must now move on to Blue. Blue is our final gym leader, and he leads with Pidgeot. We use Rain Dance and Pidgeot mirror moves it to waste a turn, and Thunder is a guaranteed hit to knock it out in one shot. He sends out Rhydon next, seeing the weakness to ground type moves, but he doesn't know we have Hidden Power Water. Up next is Alakazam. We swap back to Thunder and it's a critical hit, one shot, and up next is Executor. And for once we have a challenge here in Kanto. The Executor gets paralysed, but Leech Seeds us, and that means our health is going to be sapped away every single turn. We have a few issues taking it out, but we eventually knock it out with a critical hit return, and we're on to the Arcanine. Hidden Power Water isn't strong enough to knock it out in one shot, but even with the Leech Seed, 2 shots is more than enough to knock it out. We risk it against his Gyarados and go straight for Thunder. It hits, and we've knocked it out and defeated Blue in a time of 2 hours, 11 minutes and 12 seconds. And with that, all 16 badges are collected. There's only one thing left to do. It's time to get ourselves prepared for Red. We chat to Professor Oak to unlock Mount Silver, and we'll have a little look at our time. We're at 2 hours 11 minutes going into Mount Silver. It's been a very rough ride with the Raichu line, but we are finally at the end. How tough do you think this final Red fight will be? Let me know down in the comments below as I tell you that this is Red, our final trainer of the run. He's a mixed type specialist who leads with Pikachu. We more than outspeed the Pikachu, but we don't one-shot with Return. That is a little bit alarming, but as always we're going to try with our current level and our current learn sets before chopping and changing things up. I've had a few comments ask why I don't dump in the rare candies straight away at Red. We have been building up to this moment for 2 hours and 13 minutes, and it would be a huge anticlimax to just dump in all the rare candies at once, and it wouldn't be a true reflection of this Pokemon's capabilities. We want to see what the minimum level is in the shortest amount of time, and it would be a huge anticlimax to just dump them all in and go for it. So we're going to try building up and see just how good Raichu is. We're through the Pikachu once more, and we get hit by a very strong Psychic on the Espeon. We're onto the Snorlax, and this is where I think the issues are going to be. Thunder is doing a lot of damage, but we get knocked out by Body Slam. we're going to use our first 3 rare candies and get up to level 70. It's another one of those cabbage grounding fresh rolls, so let's see if it makes a difference. We now one-shot the Pikachu and we are on to the Espeon. Espeon uses Reflect as we use Thunder and it's still a 2-shot. Psychic is still dealing a huge amount of damage and we're only on 97 HP for the Snorlax. Body Slam knocks us out in 1, let's go up another further 3 levels. We're still at one of those cabbage grounding fresh rolls at level 73. We use Return against the Pikachu with a critical hit to knock it out, and Espeon comes out once more. Rain Dance Reflects is the usual turn 1 against the Espeon and it's still not a one-shot. He gets fully paralysed though and we're on 211 HP for the Snorlax. Thunder deals roughly a third of its HP and another Thunder takes it into the yellow. The Snorlax decides to have a little nap as we get it into the red and we are only on 114 HP. We try in vain to get a critical hit against this Snorlax by setting up the rain to guarantee the Thunder, but the Sleepy Bear wakes up and body slams us into next week. Let's now use all our remaining rare candies. We are up to level 77 and let's see if this makes any difference. It's a one-shot with Return on Pikachu, we know that from lower levels, and we're back onto the Espeon. We get our regular Rain Dance Reflect on turn 1 and it's still a 2-shot with Thunder. This time though we're holding the leftovers, so we're regaining HP at the end of every single turn. Snorlax is still as much of a pain as ever, but this time we paralyze it. Body Slam takes us into the low hundreds, but it gets fully paralysed. We finish it off with Return as the Reflect fades, and we are through to the Venusaur. We don't have anything too great against the Venusaur and we're just going to battle with weather conditions for a little bit. Our Rain Dance wins out though and we get the paralysis on the Venusaur and then we can swap to Return. I wanted to try and immobilise this Venusaur but it didn't quite work out. Thunder misses because I misclicked and we're down to 31 HP. We set up the Rain once more and then we get to Returning. It should be a foregone conclusion at this point. His final 2 Pokemon are weak to Thunder. We one-shot the Blastoise and we just got the Charizard left to go. The rain is out, Thunder connects and we knock it out and we get our final time of 2 hours, 17 minutes and 20 seconds. Goodness me, what a tricky run that was. But we made it through in the end and on the leaderboard we are in a respectable 35th place in between Hypno and Executor. I will be very interested to do a redo of this run where we start with Pikachu, so keep your eyes peeled for a stream of that in the not too distant future. At the bottom of the leaderboard is still Magcargo and there is no change to the top of the leaderboard. It's still Kangaskhan in first place, Charizard in second place and Blastoise in third place. But with that, we are done. So I'm going to say thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this run. If you did, please do leave a like. If you want to see more content just like this, click the subscribe button. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/trainersquidgy. And until next time, I'll say thank you all so much for watching. It has been a pleasure as always, and I'll see you all very, very soon.